What's up, guys? So, I'm sitting here looking at my screen of these auto generated images that are created by artificial intelligence, Adobe's AI software that will automatically generate images based on a text prompt. And let me tell you guys, this stuff is mind blowing. Right now, it's free for Adobe users, so I've been just going crazy with this. But and I just don't even know where to start. But I've got a few things here in Photoshop, and I've had some ideas of what I can do with this. Um, I kind of wanted to try to see if I could do some like stop motion animation where it looks like action figures, but not really the 3D look of it. Just kind of like the what you're looking at right now, and just kind of move that around. Um, I'm using a PSD file from Character Animator, and I'll just copy paste all this stuff in here, and I'm gonna cut it all up, and I'll show you guys how to do that. I've already done one, and I was kind of happy with it, but I'm looking for a better result. Let me just show you this. This is pretty cool looking right here. This is a this kind of android cyborg looking character, and I already cut her out, and I separated all the pieces using one of the PSD files. If you're looking for a PSD file, I didn't find a whole lot, but if you click here on the home button, it'll bring up all these little puppets that you can download. And I used, where's that? This one. I used this unicorn, Stardust, and that was a PSD, and it had a bunch of files associated with it. I wonder if this one would work too. Um, so that was the first one that I went with because it had there were some files associated with it. I tried to use, I think it was this one, but that's an AI file. Most of my stuff that I've been working with are all AI files, and I've been working pretty heavily creating puppets in Adobe Illustrator. When I say AI, I know it sounds kind of confusing. Adobe Illustrator and AI as in artificial intelligence, but Adobe's program is called Firefly, and man, that software is just awesome. I just can't wait to see where this goes. So I'll go back to here and I'll show you. That's my rig right here. Okay, let's get to it. So this background right here was created using the AI software that Adobe offers. I was looking for like a 3D cyberpunk type of city background. I just threw that in there with this character. This is nothing that's going to be going out for production. It's all for the purpose of just training people and showing you what you can do with this with Adobe Character Animator and the new software that Adobe has for the AI software. But I went ahead and cut all that up and turned it into a puppet. It's nothing really professional. As you can see, you can move the arm around here a little bit. The pivot point on it is kind of off. It's not real. It's good. The pivot point is right here, but when you move it, it'll go all the way in here. And I'm sure there's other things that we could do, like maybe put this behind the body part right here. You could probably put like some black material in right here, and this would have to be on top though. But if you put some black in here to kind of make it look like this area where it's like a stretchy material. I've already when I went in and added the this when you can move the body around a little bit, see the head kind of moves. That was kind of cool. It is distorted a little bit, so there's some settings that need to be played with. But as far as I'm concerned, that's pretty cool. But I was like, you know what? I want to take it to another level, and let me minimize that. I want to take it to another level, cut this up, and then I'll probably get rid of these little protrusions right here, and then put my pivot point here, and see how that works, and just go a little bit more into it. We could definitely make this talk right here just by taking that jaw right there and just moving it up and down. And that would be really cool to see how that turns out, to see how that works. So yeah, guys, let's get right into it. So what I'll do is, I actually thought about doing this earlier on my lunch break, but I didn't have time. I was gonna bring this into my tablet. I have an iPad. I was gonna go in there and just carefully select everything with the pen tool. But let's just see what we can do with our magic brush here. Magic wand. I'm sorry, magic brush. Let's see what we can do with the magic wand here. Um, and I saw something with this quick selection. What does that do? Okay, that kind of, that's right. I remember playing with that before. Not really what I'm looking for. Let's go ahead and undo that. Let's get the wand back out. So the tablet application actually, you know what? That's what's going on. I'm not selected. Let's try that again. Maybe that will work. You know, there's a lot of tips and tricks out there. You could take this image and mask it, or you know, everybody's got their own ways of selecting things. But you could take this image and just make it a positive, negative image, and then try to select it that way. Um, Instead of doing this, let's try this. I'm just trying to select the object. Let's go with the background. Let's see. Okay, there we go. See, now I like this because you don't have to hold a hotkey to like Shift and Alt to keep selecting or deselecting. It just keeps adding to the whole selection of things. Let's bring that down. And actually right here you've got a couple other options where you can minus. I'm not sure what that is. You can minus or plus, add or subtract. Ooh, I don't like that. Maybe the brush is too big. Bring that down some more. There we go. Just the white areas. No, I didn't get the fingers there. I'll have to fix that. Didn't get this area. Oh, I did get that area. I want to get rid of that too. Okay, so let's go back to our lasso tool and we'll zoom in and fix some of this stuff. So what do we got here? Shift, Alt. We want to add to this selection. We want to take away from this selection. There we go. I've always found that if you think you can't get a full, see how I did that? That didn't come out real straight, and you don't like, you're getting all jaggedy. You can undo that, and you can just take shorter strokes if your mouse isn't working the way it should. I'm more accurate with the pen tool, but like I said, I don't have several thousands of dollars to spend on a desktop tablet, or hundreds to get one of the affordable ones. But this is working for me now, so maybe when I get rich, I'll be able to buy that stuff. I mean, maybe, I'm like saying when I get rich, I'll be able to buy that stuff. Unless somebody wants to throw me one, you know, some big companies out there, so they want to say, hey, we like this guy's stuff, let's throw him something. That'd be great. We like his content. Let's throw him something. Oh, you know what? See, I did hit the wrong key there. I need to add to that. That was almost a perfect line. You see that? And like I said, you can always go back. You can go back in here and fix that, tighten that up if you want to. I think I need a minus here because we're just doing we're selecting the white background. So I want to take that out. Let me fix this here. Maybe I'll speed this part of the video up because it's probably boring. Yeah. Oh, see, my mouse got hung up right there. Yeah, I wasn't real fond of these protrusions right here. It's almost like just part of the thing. They almost look like some kind of something. I won't say, but it looks like something. So I'm like, you know what? I don't want to leave that in there. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to keep it clean. So again, I did that wrong. I need to. Is it plus? Yeah, I need to plus it. I'm going to add this to my selection because that's what I'll be deleting. There we go. I can live with that. Does it match over here? Not super close. Maybe I'll go a little bit closer. Like that. Get rid of that. This looks like a, could be part of a reflection. Just trying to match it as close as I can. Now these two sides don't really match here and here. I don't know what's going on there. Unless that's just like a different part. Because this isn't real symmetrical right here too. I've noticed that some of this stuff on that's being produced, it's not real symmetrical sometimes. But then you get such a cool image, like you want to keep it. So you just gotta deal with it. Like some of the images, they'll cut the head off, and then you can go there and type in like make it symmetrical, face features symmetrical, all these different keywords, and it's just really trial and error. So you gotta play with it. Right now it's free, so it's not that big of a deal. I'm not sure exactly what the plans are or what they're gonna do with it. I know that they were talking about limiting the generations that you can make. Every time you hit a button, you generate a new item, or you generate a new image, and they're gonna limit that somehow, which is it doesn't seem that cool, but I mean it's their software. You know, what can you do? I'm sure that I'm just rambling now. I don't want to say anything to offend Adobe because I love their software. Right, guys? Love your software. Let's go undo all that because it was looking pretty decent. Just keep it right there. Let me zoom out and see what we got here. Oh, we missed that part. These little antenna up here. Back to the lasso. Minus or subtracting this area. There we go. My bad. Wrong way. Minusing. Well, honestly, you know what? Here's a good idea, because I'm thinking backwards on this. I have selected this whole area, and it's confusing to me because I'm trying to select more or less of the robot. So I could go to select and invert it. So now it's all on the robot. So if I want to add or plus, I'm like, oh hey, I would like to add more selection to my robot, then I know I'm going to add it right here instead of minusing it or subtracting it. You see how that stroke went so perfectly? Oh man. There we go. Shift. So add. Let's try to go this way. Maybe if I keep my mouth shut while I'm selecting, it goes a little smoother. Obviously, I'm not a multitasker. Well, I am, but when it comes to selecting, it's easier to focus if I keep my mouth shut. We're gonna minus here. Oh, I tried this earlier. So what I'll do right here is we're gonna subtract this area with the straight line, and then I can go in and cut that out. I'll go over here while I've got this tool out. I'll go over here and do this side. Right? Because we don't want that shadow in there. We just want that part of the foot. Now you can't see all of it, so you just have to kind of guess in this area where it's at. Just kind of follow the line and just kind of guesstimate where that's at. You probably won't even see the feet when you're using character animator. If you're doing like a headshot or a body shot, you probably won't be doing a full shot. Maybe you will, I don't know. But I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, so I'm like, I gotta get it out. I gotta get that part out. And I'm just guessing where that goes. That looks pretty good, actually. I can live with that. Uh-oh. Let me go this way. I was like, what am I doing? So now, Adobe Illustrator has this thing, and I keep trying to do it, and it's like if you push down on the scroll button, I haven't found that setting yet, where you push down on the scroll button, you can move this. Instead of having to go over here, you just hold the scroll button down and move it. It's not working over here. I don't know what the deal is. I can't remember if I tried to find that setting yet or not, but I'm missing it. Oh, see, I need to add. I missed that function. It's really helpful. It saves time. Well, it looks like there's a piece right here. Yeah, I definitely need to get that part in there. That'll work. What happened over here? That'll work. Oh, we lost some right there. Lost some right here. All right. Add this in. So that last image that you saw, that other cyborg looking robot, if you guys want to know how I made those, then you'll have to watch the other video on how I did that, all the keywords and everything. And I was like telling my brother, I was like, should I make it where you have to go to a website to get the link for that? Because I could offer the link. You can actually share a link. You can share a link that will take you right to that generation. It's a little weird right there. Looks like some robot dong or something. I'm just tracing out. I didn't. That wasn't part of the keyword. Actually, Adobe's keeping it pretty tight on what you can and can't do as far as like weapons and stuff like that. Because I was like, man, I want to make like one of those Japanese style robots with all the big guns and everything. But you can't type in gun. You can't type in dagger. You can do sword. It won't flag that. What it does is it flags certain keywords. And it's kind of just, it seems like it's going the algorithm is going with a more PG kind of thing. What I'll do now is I'll go ahead and select invert or inverse. Um, the last image, what I did was I feathered it, and I didn't like that look. Unless you're going for that look, I didn't like that feathered look. So what I'll do here is I'll just go ahead and delete that directly. Delete. Let's turn this puppet off. Okay, so I've deleted that. Now the edge should be more refined. I'll Command D should deselect it. There we go. Now I've noticed this already, and I'm sure you've seen this before. You get that little edge. So around your image, you get that feathering or whatever. Not feathering, but you still have something left from the original image. You get the edge of that image. I'll go ahead and just try to delete all that out to avoid any kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Any kind of edging or any kind of problems with the way that it looks. All right. Deselect. Okay, it looks like I don't see anything in there. We're at 66%. Let's zoom in on that to 100. That's what it looks like at 100. There's a lot of detail in there. It looks like an actual real action figure, and that was part of my prompt. I was trying to make an action figure, and it generated this, and I was real happy with that result. As you can see here, there's all the generations that I made. But as you can see here, they're like some super cool looking action figures. Some of them are like 3D stands, some of them are straight on. This is exactly what I wanted. I did type that in. There was also a setting on the composition that you could change that'll get you that full shot. And I'm pretty stoked, y'all. This is cool. All right, so next up we are going to cut all this up. So I've got to a point where he's all cut up into separate sections, each leg, the head. And if you notice right here, I filled in an area that was more black, because whenever I cut it out, when I cut his head out, all this area was missing. So I just added some more black into it, and I'll probably refine that a little bit on the edges, just to show you, just to have something for a little bit of a reveal. Whenever his head tilts to the side, you'll be able to see that there's something there instead of a blank space. And then I'm probably going to do the same thing on each side here. which I'll do now. Let's go ahead and get into that. So what I'm gonna do here is, we'll, where's my arms at? Each arm, I'll take both of those and I'll turn the opacity down on it so we can still kind of see right there. Now let's give it kind of like there's a shaft in here or there's a socket or something, and you could just really easily do that with the rectangle select tool. And maybe you don't want to go right up against it. You want to give it a little bit of space. Go into it here. Maybe I should have went further over, because again, this is all going to be hidden, and it's just whenever the arms move, you'll see a little bit of that, and we don't want to have that dead space there. So let's go about there. I'll go ahead and create a new layer. Okay, and I'll just fill it real quick, and then we'll move it. We'll drop it down. We're going to fill it with this black material. If you'll notice, I'm not using a lot of shortcuts, just because my memory is a little off. I go between so many different pieces of, or so many different softwares that it's hard to remember every single shortcut. So we want to put this behind the body here. And then again, so you'll see it showing through the transparency. And that kind of works for me. Hopefully you won't see this edge here or this edge to make it look where it came disconnected, but you'll see a little bit of the black. And once I'm set on that I like this, then I'll just merge these two layers. This is my body layer. We'll call that body, or actually torso. That's my torso layer. This is my head. What's this? That's my right leg. Leg. That's my right leg. That's my left leg. This will be my right arm. And then this will be my left arm. All right, there we go. Now I'll select both of those and I'll go ahead and bump that opacity all the way back up. And if you see, now when I delete it there, there's the piece. But now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, you know what? The pivot of this shoulder looks like it'll be right in here. Because this is kind of like this extra flap that sticks up. You kind of have this screw or this ball that looks like, hey, this arm probably moves somewhere around here, not up here. Even though like this is your shoulder all the way across, that kind of looks like your shoulder where you're meeting the upper part here. Like kind of like where your collarbone would be right in here. So I'm thinking my pivot, even though you see that bolt, my pivot may be somewhere right about here. So should I move that up or down? Let's just go with it. If I have to go back and delete it, then I'll go back and delete it. So what I'll do here is I'll select these two, and then I'll just go ahead and combine that. I'll merge those layers, and now we have it all as one in the torso. All right, and zoom out a little bit. And save that. Oops. What's over here? Need that. Okay, we're saved. Now, underneath him, I've got a puppet that I've already set up. And I showed you guys this earlier. I'm just going to go ahead and throw all these parts into that. So first, what I'll do is I'll select all of these pieces. And then I'll go ahead and move it down to line it up. There she is. Kind of get it in there. Oh, yeah, right about there. Looks good. Right. All right. So we're good. And then I'll come over here to the head. This is where her head is. I'll leave that in there just in case it deletes something. And then I'll go grab his head and drop it down in. There's the robot head. Right? Now I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna delete this. All right, and then I'll go to. Oops. That was frontal. Head frontal, body frontal. So again, like I said, all these pieces were put together off of the unicorn Photoshop document that I pulled off of the website, off of the homepage in Character Animator. So we have right arm right here. Right arm, right? Let's go ahead and replace that with right arm. I'll grab that and I'll just drag it down. Where'd we go? All the way down until I see it, and then I'll just make sure it's in here. Boom. Right arm. If I turn that off, you won't see the right arm anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this. Now, left arm. And they have an upper arm for some reason. But it's the same thing as over there. Okay, left arm. Cancel that. Left arm. Left arm deletes. All right, we're getting there. We're almost there. The cool thing about this is you will be able to see your character, your puppet updated almost immediately. As soon as you hit save and you go in back and you switch back over to the Adobe Character Animator, it'll update it. So left leg. Let's hope that I where the heck are my legs? I don't have a left leg. That's right. So I'm gonna put this into torso. Right leg. Shoot. Right leg. I'll bring it down. Drop it in here. The body, for that particular puppet, the body with the right leg and the left leg are all part of one object or one layer. So what I'm going to do here is, and hopefully this works, I'll just keep it all grouped into that torso file right here. And then I'll go ahead and delete this one. Right? Now, everything is lined up. The head is back on top of the torso here. Here's my torso layers all in here. All the arm, all the components that I need. See, unicorn, that came from the unicorn puppet. So all that should line up. The only thing is that this arm length is different from the last puppet arm length, so we'll have to change the bone structure on that, which is not hard to do. So I'll hit save, and then as soon as I go over to this nested layers, just hit OK. Character Animator, click on it. Immediately, it imports the artwork, and it'll make the change. Bam! Just like that. Man, how cool is that? That is so cool. I have a action figure inside of a city, and he's doing whatever he's doing. He can't talk or he can't blink or anything like that because I didn't set any of that up, which you can look at another video for that. We're not going to get into that too far. But if I go over to rig, now we'll need to check that bone structure. And if you look at it, it's off. So what we'll do here is I'm going to select that, delete it, select this one, delete it, and then we'll move our elbow here. We'll move the draggable part in the hand, actually the wrist, we'll put that there. I'll leave that alone. Wait, actually, let's move that up a little bit. And I'm not sure if that needs to be in or outside of that. Let's put it right here. We'll just try that out. I noticed the difference if you go in and out of it. But it's not showing here. But if you notice that there's that line there in the middle, it keeps it connected. I'm not sure exactly how that works. But yeah. So the left arm, its pivot point should be right here. Now we just need our bone structure. You can easily go back in and draw that in. And I don't think it has an order or a different way. Like you have to draw this one first and that one second to get everything to line up. I think it just knows that the bone is there and then you're done. So as long as that bone is inside in between those two pivot points, everything should work fine. I'll go ahead and go right back over to record. It'll recognize it, and then I'll just grab that arm and move it. Let's see what it does. Voila. Look at that. It's bending. It's bending at the pivot points. Perfect. And like I said, you see in the armpit there, there's that, see when you let go of it, it goes right back. There's that part right there that stays in there. Now, what I could do, if I don't like that, I could add a little bit more of an angle to it to kind of look like there's a material that's stretching. But look at the top of it too. Oh, if you go too far, you'll see the end of it. But when you're at the top of it, what you could do is, you don't want to go too far with that because then it'd be hanging out at the edge right here. So you could actually figure out where that bend is and then kind of do that at an angle there and cut that back. And then you wouldn't see much of that. So actually we'll go back and look at that right now and I'll show you what I'm talking about. We'll go into the torso and then we'll take that left arm and I'll lower the opacity, right? I'll zoom in. And now this is what I'm talking about. So I've already combined that black area with the torso, but it doesn't matter. You can still go in and edit it. So I'm using the line, it's like a line tool, selection tool. And I'll just draw that in at an angle. And just kind of guess where you think it's going to be. And then I'll go up right here. And all I'm going to do is just hit delete. And we'll get rid of that. We'll Command D, we'll deselect that. I'll go ahead and get back into the arm and bump that opacity back up to 100%. And then I'm going to go back to character animator. It should update it. It didn't do anything. Let's see if it did. It didn't update it. You know why? This is why. Go back to Photoshop. I didn't save. So if you run into that problem, why am I not updating? Don't forget to save. You got to save this. And you get this. If you get this little thing right here, you can say don't show again. This document contains nested layers, groups, Just hit OK. Go back to character animator. Boom. Automatically it updated. See that? It's a beauty. Now, see? That looks better. I didn't do anything. Let's see what I didn't do anything with this arm. So its pivot point is way off. It's still got the bones from the unicorn, I believe. And there's a little bit of stretchiness to it. And I know that there's some ways to get rid of that. If you like that look, then maybe you can be like, hey, what's up? Like try to make this dude dance or something. See how far it goes up and then you see the bottom of it. And then also you see the outside edge of that. We can fix this bottom one too. See, so right now we already have something that looks better than what this is, where you see the outside edge of that. We want it to look like as real as we can. And if you're the kind of person that likes more detail, you can add little ribs in there or something like that to make it look like it's like a rubber stretchy material or something, like a vacuum cleaner hose that has all the ridges in it, something like that. Or you could copy paste parts of the material from here and bring it up there and stick it in there too. There's an idea. Just to make it look more real. But what I'll do here is I'll go back into it. I'll go to the left arm. Bump the opacity down. What we want to do is kind of do the same thing we did on the top. We want to just cut that angle off. Back into the torso. Get my selection tool. Grab that. Grab this. That's all you have to do. It's so easy. Hit delete. Command D will deselect. Don't save it yet because you have to fix the opacity or you'll have a problem. You got to bump that back up. Pardon my sniffles. I'm a little bit sniffly today. There's something in the air. Now I'll hit save. And then I'll go back into Character Animator, watch it. Boom. Instantly import it to artwork and it automatically changes it. Now there's also a workaround. Perfect. You see that? Perfecto. If you go further, you're gonna see the edge of it. But you might want to though, if you're trying to be like, hey, where'd that guy go? He went that way. Instead of saying like, he went that way. He went that way. Then you might need to do something to fix that. But if you're happy with that, you're happy with it. But like, hey, that guy went that way. The robot went that way. Or you can also alter your pivot point. Let's try that. Let's go back to rig. We'll take that pivot point and we'll move it up a little bit. And the bone, it's all right with the bone because you're still within that range. I think you'll be fine. Let's go back to record. Hey, okay, now you're starting to see the edge of that, but you're trying to do some jumping jacks or something. You still see part of it, so. But down here, you don't see any of it. When you go that way, hey, that dude went that way. You looking for somebody? He went that way. That way. The dude ran that way. It's so cool with the fast movements. Like, you don't even really notice that this isn't, like, forming. It's like, it really looks like a 3D character or something. But, yeah, you see more of the bottom. So, go back over here, rig. It's all going to be your preference, what you are happy with. You can move this, maybe even move this pivot point further out. Let's see what that does. Further out, and don't worry about the bone yet. If you're worried about that bone, get your pivot point correct first, then replace that bone if it bothers you. So I moved the pivot point further out, and what does it do? Oh yeah, see? You'll never see the edge of that black. But are you happy with the pivot now? Because this part is crossing over to this. Are you happy with that? See, it's all gonna be like, what are you happy with? For me, I think I would probably want to go back. I wonder if I can hit undo move handle, and it'll put it back to where it was. And then I'll do it one more time, undo move handle, and it moves it there. One more time. Okay, this is originally where I had it at, and I think I was happy with that. And I'm okay with it crossing over. If you wanted to avoid it crossing over, then you might have to move your pivot point down here somewhere. So yeah, I'm sure there's ways to. I don't know if you can add another pivot point. Let's try that. Actually, let's try that right here, right now, on this video. We'll try that. We'll delete this. We'll add an. I'm lying. You can't do that because Character Animator, it recognizes each pivot point for like a natural human form. I don't think you can add an extra pivot point. But let's try it. What is this? Handle tool. So you can put that in there and you can say, oh, I want an extra pivot point right here. But will it recognize it? It wants to know what you're doing with that. So you hit a plus sign. Where are you pivoting? So you can't do it. Like down here, you get an ankle. Here you have your shoulder, elbow, and wrist. And then you have your hip, knee, ankle, and then your feet. You get that extra one down here, but over here you don't get it. So you can't do that. That would be cool. Maybe if you guys updated that, and maybe y'all have in a newer version. Because like I said, I'm using 2022 version because I've got a little bit older computer. Maybe that's something for the future. So I don't think that's gonna work. So I'll probably just end up deleting this part of the video. Let's take that out. Well, in case people are curious, I might leave it in. But anyways, you can always undo. Command Z, and you're right back to where you were. Go back to record. There's no updating like it does from between Photoshop. And there you have it. Boom, 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 boom. What's up, guys? What's up? And then let's see what happens when I turn my camera on and I turn the voice on. You're not going to get any kind of voice, but look at that when the head moves. Super cool, bro. His head's bending a lot. Let's check out the pivot point on that. I'll go back to rig, select the head. Look where the pivot point's at. It's way up in the middle. You want this down here. Oh, why can't I move it? What is going on here? That's, oh, head, frontal, background, head. Oh, is it all one piece? Head. There it is. I was like, what is going on here? Back to record. Let's see where the head's at now. A little better. Okay, actually, I have two screens here, so I'm looking at the wrong screen. There we go. What up? Yo, the head is moving a lot, though. I don't know if I like that. And then if you try to make your head independent by adding the crown here, something funky might happen. Let's see what it does, though, because I'm just curious now. And maybe there's another pinpoint for your neck. It might need to know where the neck's at. Let's go back to record and see what happens when you make the head independent. Oh, okay, that's better. That's kind of, but something's funky about the way it moves. It's moving the shoulder here. What's going on with that? So, like I said, where I cut it out at, you would have a negative space right here. You would be able to see what's in the background. But since I put the black in there, it just looks like it's part of the robot. Excuse me. I don't even need the sound on there. So, there you go right there. It's moving, but something looks funky on it. Go back to rig. The head. Where's it? Let me select the body real quick and see where it's recognizing the neck. Body. Whoa. What are these? See, this is all fixed. These are all things. You know what? This needs fixed needs to be down here, because that's from the unicorn. I don't even think I need this one. Delete. And I believe these were part of the unicorn legs, which could be causing some kind of problem. This is the body. Maybe we can actually go in and throw. Let's throw this in here on the body. Now remember, I'm in the body when I did that. And now that I have this, I'm going to hit the plus sign and I'll just say neck. Let's recognize that point as the neck of the body. We'll go back up to head. We're kind of off. So we'll bring the head back up a little bit, closer to where the neck would be. Let me go back into the body. And then I'll bring that neck down a little bit. That little tag says body right there. Now we'll go back to record and let's see what happens here. It moved the head. Oh, look, I'm way independent now though. You see how independent that is? And that's probably not an effect you want unless you're looking for that effect. Unless you want to be like, like you want a dancing robot or something. Let's go back to rig. I'll go to the head. Remember where I put that crown in there? Let's take that crown out. Which makes it more, I believe that it'll now, because you see how the selection changed and it's including it in the body structure. I believe that the head will maintain its position with the body. Let's see what it does now. Let's go back to record. And boom, it pulled it back up. I mean, that looks better. I just don't like how it's distorting the shape of the head. Let's go back to rig. Let's go to head. Is there something in here that's causing that? Blending mode, normal. Now you have all these different features where you can change the head movements, which is really, really cool if you have different renderings of it. I'm not even going to try to get into that right now. Motion trigger, behaviors. I don't see attached to his auto. You could do like a, oh, okay, what is that? BG or head. I don't want to do that yet. Blending mode. Normal. Ah, man, what's going on here? I've got body. Let's check out body. Head. Attached to frontal or audio. Blending mode pass through. What is pass through? Scale, rotate, opacity. I don't know. I don't know. That's something I'm going to have to research because I'm not really 100%. I'm not 100% on that. But I like what I got going on here. We were able to cut this guy up and turn him into a puppet. If you like this video and you want to see more stuff, you know, give me a like. Give me a subscribe. I want to make more videos. There's one last thing I want to say. I'm over here in Photoshop. Let's say that you were not happy with everything you did in here and you already saved it. Check this out. This is a workaround. If you didn't close out Photoshop, but you already saved a version of it, and I've learned this before, you always will still have the ability to undo. So you can undo up to a number of times, whatever your setting is on there. Like if you have 20 undos, you can undo up to 20 times and change something. So for the sake of this video, I'll just do it. Let's go to undo. Command Z, Command Z. Too far. Edit, redo. Edit, redo. Edit, redo. Okay, so this is at the point where I made all those little changes to the armpit socket here. So we're back to that. If you just hit save, you'll get that back. Not saying that you want to go in and you want to have that taken away, all that work that you did. But if it's something else that you did and you didn't like it, you still have the ability to go back and change it even though you saved it. And now here's a good example. I can go back to Photoshop and I took the arm out. Oh man, we'll put it back. I can go back to here and say, ew, you can't redo though. Oh, that's a bummer. So I can't redo it, but you can undo. I was thinking you might be able to go back and redo. Once you save, I guess you can't redo, but you can undo. So I would have to physically go back in and cut that out and make it how I like it. So that's not a problem. Not a problem for me. It's just a little bit of work. I won't do it now because it's just going to be a waste of time. But now that I saved that arm with the transparency back on, or the eye, I turn the eye back on. We have the arm back. We have the guy. We got the arm. I'm going to go ahead and character animator has a auto save. I'm sure you know about it, so it's already saved. This will be something that I work on later. But really for the purpose of a tutorial, I wanted to show you guys what you could do. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Y'all have a good one. Thanks. Appreciate you watching.